Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Salome Maria, and on this channel I bring transmissions from Anna, grandmother of Yeshua, and lately also from Hathor, beautiful Egyptian goddess of motherhood, of fertility, of joy, music, dance, and expression of the beauty that we are. I have been home from Egypt for a little over a week, and today felt like a good day to go back and see into what was shared, what was transmitted through Hathor, through Anna, through Sophia Christ consciousness, and see what it means for us, where we are now and what we can do right now. So for those who have not watched the channelings that I have shared, I was in a old Hathor temple at Serabit el Khadim. It's in the Sinai Desert on the top of a mountain where ley lines cross, where monoatomic gold is in the sand. And there, after a morning of dancing and celebrating, Hathor came through to share a message on the medicine that is held in feminine beauty, but also about the age we are going into, which is the age of the children. And she shared this age of the children as an era of innocence, of joy, where we surpass polarity. It's really about building community and building a world together that is centered around guarding innocence and joy and creativity. A world in which children can grow up freely to become the adults they are. So it's not just about raising children, but it is the children as focal point. And through this, we create a community that is built on values of life. I mean, think about what they represent. They are life in the purest form. They are unfiltered. They are pure expressions of potential. They are pure potential. Raw, open, explosive at times. They're just, little bombs of energy that just want to connect with the world, and they're filled with curiosity and a passion to become who they are becoming, and to grow up and to really relish the moment and relish the curiosity and deeply, deeply connect to life. So if we move into the age of the children, what we're really moving into is an age where we support life and community. So this was shared by Hathor. Really beautiful, joyful message. And then Anna came in after this, and she and Sophia Christ consciousness shared about the harmonic revolution. And again, I notice how this moves me. So the harmonic revolution officially started on the morning of March 1, when we passed the tipping point in the collective consciousness. So far we have been building up to the tipping point of people who are awake and choosing to live according to a deeper sensation, deeper connection with their heart, with their soul. And now I don't think they said that it's not that half of the world has already come there, but the seed has been planted in so many people, and doubt has been sown in so many people, that right now we are at a tipping point where there is no way back. There's too many people waking up at this moment, especially in the feminine side of humanity. So the harmonic revolution has begun, and the harmonic revolution is what in the end will lead us to the age of the children. The harmonic revolution is, let's call it, the fight that we are moving into at this moment as a collective to fight for the coming of this age of community and joy and radiance and expression. And in this harmonic revolution, what we are really being called to do is not necessarily fight as we think of the archetype of the warrior, right? We think of someone who goes, if we think of a revolution, we think of going into the streets and throwing stuff over, and there's a lot of passion and fire, but also a lot of aggression, and it's very loud. But this harmonic revolution is everything. It is also that, but it's also more so, let's say that it's more about decisions that we make in our daily lives. So it's really that simple. The harmonic revolution is about the decision to live from our heart, from a soul connection, from a deeper intuition, and maybe also from a stubbornness that we do not want to feed into the machine anymore. We do not want, this system, this that we have grown accustomed to, that we have grown into, that we have grown up in. What we envision now is a world where we are connected to the heart, where we are in flow with life and with all of life, in harmony with life, in harmony with ourselves. So the harmonic revolution is about being in harmony with our soul and living a life that supports this state of harmony with life in general. And the way this looks is different for everyone, and so this is why it's not a typical revolution as you would think of a revolution. The revolution happens within everyone who makes a decision to listen to their heart instead of their fear-based mind. Instead of listening to the system, it's everyone who chooses to make a vegetable garden, or who chooses to sit and whisper to the birds or sing to the birds. It's everyone who chooses to step out of materialism and maybe focus on making stuff with your own hands, or cooking with devotion. It can even be that. It can be, every one of us have different gifts. So the way the harmonic revolution expresses through you depends on the unique weaving, the unique tapestry that is your soul essence woven together with your ancestral gifts, with the gift that you carry into this lifetime. So we bring that into harmony and we listen. And for some people it means really, being visible, and maybe also being loud, and maybe also, being the voice that triggers other people. And for other people it does not mean that. We do not all need to be the same revolutionary. For other people it means making the decision to quit the job that they're in and creating a different kind of homestead, or writing a book, or not even that much, it could also just be focusing on really good sleep and on nurturing your body and your soul, and sitting in silence a little bit more often, or there's so many possibilities that I cannot even begin to start to think what all is possible, because it depends on you. It depends on your heart. It depends on your presence. It depends on your gifts. It depends on who you are in your soul. And so the biggest act of revolution, of breaking the system, that you can do at this moment, that you have always been able to do, and that has even a bigger impact right now as we've passed the tipping point, and as the harmonic revolution has started. The energy is on our side. But the biggest act of revolution that you can do right now is just to listen to your heart and trust it. Trust your heart. Trust that inner voice. Trust that inner wisdom, and trust that if you listen to it, life wants to support life. That is all it wants. Life is love. Life is joy. Life is peace. Life is harmony. Life wants to support life. So if you support your own life, get out of surviving and start focusing on thriving, on living, on radiating your beauty into the world. Move through the fear. And I know it's making me emotional again. Move through the fear. The doubt, the uncertainty. There will be voices that tell you that it cannot be done, but I am here to tell you that it can very much be done. And there's a lot of people out there doing it. So if you still have a very active voice telling you, "Ooh, I cannot do this thing that I feel in my heart right now," then decide to also turn your attention to those who are already doing it. Not in a guru kind of way, but in a inspiring kind of way. Let it inspire you to do what you feel is right for you. Because the only one who knows what is right for you is you. Yeah. So that is the harmonic revolution that started on March 1. It's Bit el-Khadim in the Sinai Desert of Egypt. The harmonic revolution that will eventually lead to the age of children. Let's take a moment right now and visualize what that would look like. Just feel like how does harmony feel like to you? How does a world that supports life look like to you? What would you do? How would you feel moving around this world? Ooh. So when I connect to that image right now, I feel like there's this blocked energies, this big relief that's opening up, and there's tears again, and oh goodness, I'm so happy, so grateful. You know, there is mayhem in the world right now. But the mayhem is also a response to what is happening inside of us. It's a way, you know, it gets worse and worse and worse and bigger and bigger and bigger because it needs to get bigger to be able to distract us from what is really essential. But know that you have the power to stop being distracted, and you have everything it takes to come back to connection and to choose that world where those big bullies do not rule us anymore, where there's peace and harmony amongst all living beings, where we co-create with the earth, where we are part of nature again, really part of nature, where nature isn't even a thing anymore because it is just life. When I was in Egypt, I made the journey alone, responding to a call from goddess Hathor, who told me to connect certain temples. I was invited by a group who happened to make the same journey the other way around 2 weeks before I had felt a call to go, but that didn't feel right for me. I felt that I needed to go by myself, that there was something that needed to be done through me. And then it so happened that on the day that I was going to pass through Cairo and go see the pyramids, some of my beautiful priestess sisters were there as well. Obviously, the synchronicity had to be honored, so we went to the pyramids together. And in the third pyramid of Menkaure, we birthed a field of light. We birthed a field of joy and of paradise that is now radiating through the collective grid, because the pyramid functions as an antenna, like radio waves that are now being picked up by all of us. It's like this call, like it's ready, it's time, let's go. But what I wanted to share about this in connection to the mayhem in the world right now is that the second that we were finished, that this birthing had happened, and we had stood up again and looked at each other with awe and gratitude, like, wow, that really just happened. How beautiful and magical that we somehow met here in the middle of this pyramid, also with some women we didn't know who suddenly came on our path there in the center of the pyramid. But the second we were done, the guard who was on duty that day, he came up with an aggressive energy, like shouting, "Get out, get out, get out, bring up!" And we were just like, whoa, what the hell? What happens? What is going on right here? But also feeling very clearly that what was going on was a response of this old bully mechanism, this old aggressive masculine, which is not the divine masculine that we are also invited to embody more. But it was the old immature, childish, power, striving for power masculine that immediately responded to this field of pure, divine, feminine joy that was just birthed. Sadly for him, though, the work had been done, so no way to turn it back. But it was really, like, in micro, a good example of what is happening when the field feels that something is shifting. So in that sense also, when we look at the mayhem right now in the world, it's just there to distract us. It's a response, a horrible response. And yeah, again, heartbreaking what humans can do to each other. But it is a response to something bigger that is happening, which is the harmonic revolution and the coming of the age of the children. And we are doing it. You are doing it. We are not alone. This is also something that I felt very, very clearly in that temple there in Serabit El Khadim, where, I got to do that activation that kind of switched the tipping point to the other side. But what I saw in this moment was the interconnectedness of everyone who chooses to lead a life in this way, every sister circle that has been, every man claiming their divine masculinity, every person daring to look at their shadows and to move through their wounds and allow them to rebirth themselves, every person who chooses to hold their child while crying instead of letting it cry it out, every person who decides to eat a meal with presence and gratitude, every person, every decision, that every moment that we have had the option to choose distraction or choose presence, and we chose presence, have led to this moment. So we are not alone. Even if sometimes it feels like we are alone, we are not alone. There is this amazing grid of life, amazing web of connection that is moving through all of us, and everything that I do ripples out to you, and everything that you do ripples out to someone else, and then it continues and continues, and we do this together. We do this together. We are infinitely more connected than we might think. Yeah. So let's do it. Let's do it. Let's harmonically revolutionize this world into the age of the children.